Start streaming. Here we go. Here we go. Don't start barking. Barking is not what we want, Joan. We want streaming. I'm alive. Can I hear myself? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. There we go. Streaming. Here we go. All right, we're good. We are live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live, damn it. We'll do it live. Welcome to the live stream. 7 o'clock on Sunday. 39 degrees outside. Brr. Brr. I thought we were in spring already. 39 degrees. It only gets warmer from here, though. That's the good news. Welcome to the live stream. So, welcome to the pregame live stream while we wait to get some people in here. What? You want to come over here? All right, Joan wants to be closer to me. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see her here? Probably a little bit. Kinda. She's just off camera. There she is. There she is. Oh, JC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome. I'm just waiting for the crew to log in. Yes, Joan. Here, I'll shake your paw. How's that? You don't do the paw shake. You don't know what I'm doing. So what was going on this week? Oh, it was a big week. It was crazy. I did Westville Library in Westville, New Jersey. That was fun, and it wasn't a huge crowd, but the librarian turned me on to a book fair that's happening the 22nd of April. Ryan Citro is here. Hello. Then on Thursday, I did the Coho Brewery in Cape May County Courthouse, and then they turned me on to yet another venue that may host one of my talks. So it was a great networking week. And, you know, the usual nonsense during the week. I've been writing for Clownfish TV. I took this week off. I had to do some other stuff. I wrote the article, but I never got it posted in time. So next week for that. And then I've been working on a screenplay for a client. I'm just about done. I hope to be done it tonight. So there was that. I also got some interesting comments this week on the YouTube site. YouTube's doing well for me. I'm almost to 3,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 49 subs away. So less than 50 to go to hit 3,000. So that's exciting. And someone suggested in the comments that I read, that young screenwriters send in a screenplay and I read part of it, or like I would limit it to 5-page, like a 5-page screenplay, and then I evaluate it. I don't know. Part of me says you should be paid to do that, and then part of me says I'm probably going to hate it and demoralize some poor kid. So I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence about that. But let's start off this week's live stream with the top 100, according to IMDB, Irish movies. And my favorite Irish movie isn't even on the list. Ryan asked me, have you been to Liberia? I have not. I have not. Not a big traveler. The only country I've been to other than the United States is Canada. I went to Canada because I was dating a girl there who I was so in love with. Oh gosh, I was just head over and heels in love with this girl. And she lived in Toronto, and it was a good time. It was a good time. She came down to visit me first, which is the only reason I went up to see her. I was like, man, when she came down to see me, I thought, I'm wasting my time. I'm going to go to this bus stop, and I'm going to get a text saying, oh, no, I couldn't come. But no, she came down to see me, and we had like an online thing for like a year, I guess. And then I went up to see her, and that was great, and I just had a great time. I was just madly in love with her. But I have not been to Liberia. No. I don't know. What's it like? Why would I go to Liberia? Is it good? Did I just spill stuff? No, I think that was just a noise. So, anyhow, talking about the Irish movie, the top 100 Irish movies, and my favorite Irish movie's not even on the list. So, This is IMDB. Yeah, I'll just keep petting you, Joan. Does that make you happy? Number 10 is Derry Girls. I've heard of Derry Girls, but I haven't seen it. Moon Boy, spelled differently. Father Ted, I have heard of, but wasn't that a TV series? I thought it was a TV series. I guess they made a movie too. That was very popular. Love Hate, never heard of that. Kin, here. I think Joan's leaving soon. I could tell she's too antsy. Noble, The Secret Scripture, Michael Inside, Black 47, Maze, Handsome Devil, Cardboard Gangsters. I like that name. My Brothers, 71, 32A, Screenplay. Huh, what is this? Is this episode You, Me, and Marley? I guess they're counting TV shows in this? Or it's a TV movie? I don't know. Maybe Irish TV is different somehow. War of the Buttons, What Richard Did, Vicious Circle, Veronica Guerin, and that was directed by Joel Schumacher. It stars Cate Blanchett. That's weird. Oh, and Colin Farrell's in it. Huh. Siege of Jadotville, Titanic Town. I guess that's where they built the Titanic. Ryan. Liberia is a country that was with the United States of America, and Abe Lincoln sent them to Africa. That is why it's called Liberia. Yeah, I did know that. In fact, I think, wasn't it the plan, Lincoln's plan that he pitched to send all the former slaves back to Liberia? But in the letter that he wrote, it's this horrible letter. It's like, well, you'll probably die and your children will probably suffer greatly, but your grandchildren, that's actually what the letter says, something like that, because there was a lot of malaria there, and in the 1800s, like, the way to get rid of that would be to drain all the swamps, but that was going to take years by that technology, right? So, like, he kind of knew he was sending all the former slaves to their deaths, and they didn't want to leave, right? They didn't want to leave America. They had stuff here, and they lived here. They didn't know, they were generations by that time, I assume, removed from living there. I guess a few of the former slaves went back there. Why are we talking about that? So depressing. I want to talk about movies. The Secret of Kells, The Frontline, The Young Offenders, another good name, not sure what that's about, The Secret of Rowan Inish, Trojan Any, The Matchmaker. The Matchmaker? Is that Janine? That's Janine Garofalo. Okay. The Crying Game. I have heard of that movie. That's 72. Screen 2, The Snapper. No idea. The Informant, The Crack. Oh, okay. That I understand that term. The crack is like, messing around, like when you have a good laugh, kind of like a prank, kind of. The Run of the Country, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, The Van, The Butcher Boy, The Halo Effect, The General. That one I've heard of, because that's John Borman. My friend's like a John Borman fanatic. Ryan Citro. Okay, what about the documentary of John Brown? Haven't seen that. So The General stars Brendan Gleeson, and oh God, what is it about? The real life story of the Dublin folk hero and criminal Martin Cahill. Yeah, I was going to say gangster, but I wasn't sure. And then here's another Brendan Gleeson film, The Guard, which I did see. And it's got, what's his name, John Cheadle in it too. That's pretty good. The Field, The Commitments. I think everybody knows that one. Blowing up. I'm blowing up. Okay, wow. My producer just informed me the sitcom I worked on, Roommates, has gotten 20 awards so far. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not sure if I think I had 1 or 2 episodes that I wrote part of in the first season. Do you remember 9/11, 2001? I do, Ryan Citro. Are you trying to get my my entire stream canceled? Are you just going to talk about controversial things? Why don't we talk about Trump if we're going to talk controversy? The most fertile man in Ireland, the disappearance of Finbar, the boxer, Daniel Day-Lewis. I've heard of that one. I don't think I saw it. Spin the Bottle, Sing Street, Six Shooter, Song for Raggy Boy, Some Mother's Son, Rat, Resurrection Man. Now we're getting into the top 50. Philomena, Path to Freedom, Perrier's Bounty. JC says to Ryan, I don't remember what happened. Pete's Meteor, Parked, starring Cole Meany. Cole Meany's in a lot of these movies. Oh, and there's Alfred Molina in Pete's Meteor. Once, On the Edge, Ondine. It's also Colin Farrell. Nothing Personal, No Surrender, Man About Dog, My Left Foot, Daniel Day-Lewis again, Mickey Bowe and Me, Michael Collins, that's Liam Neeson, about the Irish Revolutionary, The Last of the High Kings, also Cole Meany, Kisses, Jimmy's Hall, Into the West, now we're in the top 30, Intermission, Rory O'Shea was here, In America, In Bruges, Colin Farrell again. I did see that, and Brendan Gleeson. That's a good movie. It's kind of a tough movie. I Went Down, In the Name of the Father, Daniel Day-Lewis again, Hidden Agenda, How Harry Became a Tree, Hunger, Hard Times, top 20, H3, Ryan Citro. I've been to Canada. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I haven't been there since Justin Trudeau turned it into a communist hellscape, but it was cool. Good Vibrations, 5 Minutes of Heaven, Liam Neeson again, 50 Dead Men Walking, Family, Eureka Street, Eat the Peach, Disco Pigs, Divorcing Jack, Crush Proof, and now we're in the top 10. Cal, Cherry Bomb, Calvary, Brendan Gleeson again, Breakfast on Pluto. I haven't heard of these movies. Borstal Boy, Bloody Sunday, Angel, Everlasting Peace, Everlasting Peace, like a piece of something. Accelerator is number 2, and number 1, Adam and Paul. 2 heroin addicts negotiate their way through Dublin city centre, encountering friends and family as they search for their next fix. Yeah, it's kind of a weird list, right? Doesn't even have my favorite Irish movie, The Boondock Saints. The Boondock Saints is awesome. Not sure why it's not on here. Why isn't The Boondock Saints on the top Irish movies list? Probably because it doesn't take place in Ireland, I guess. Not considered Irish enough. Oops. Let me see what the rating was on IMDb. Maybe the rating was too low. No, 7.7. That was the first one that came to mind. I don't know if you guys have an Irish movie you like. Darby O'Gill and the Little People, which was Sean Connery's first movie. JC, Boondock Saints was filmed in Boston. LOL. Yeah, I know, but it's a very Irish movie, right? I mean, even though I don't think Norman Reedus he's not from Ireland. Sean Patrick Flannery from Ireland. Harry's here. Hey, Tony. Hey, Harry. Welcome. Just missed the top 100 Irish movies on IMDb for St. Paddy's Day. I thought I'd do something different. You okay, Joan? Do you have to get down, or are you just going to sit there? Oh, look at you just sitting there. Oh. You want to get down? You want to get back in your bed? Hold on. Let me situate Joan. You want to get back in your bed, or you want to get on the ground? Okay. You take a nap. There you go. Um, okay. Let's check the numbers. Unfortunately, the website, the numbers, is dead. I mean, it is gone. It hasn't been up for weeks. Do I have to let you down? All right. I don't want you growling at me, so here you go. Yeah, I really like that site, the numbers, but it apparently is no more. Can't get to it anymore, so we're stuck with Box Office Mojo, which is now owned by IMDB. So maybe the studios wanted more control over their reporting of the profits. But let's take a look at the weekend box office. So number one is Shazam: Fury of the Gods, did 30 million. Not great. I mean, considering how much this movie probably cost. Let's see. Do we have a? I don't know if we have an international gross. Ooh, international's not great. 35 million. Did this get any Chinese distribution? I wonder. So 75 million or 65 million worldwide. It's not a lot. 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's too long, man. That is too long. Too long, and not enough people. But I mean, you can see why people aren't seeing it, right? I mean, I could wait until this comes out on HBO Max, and so can a lot of people, because the movie kind of doesn't matter now. And the longer you wait, the less likely you're going to see it. You know, I kind of wanted to see Black Adam, and then I kind of said, well, I'll wait for HBO Max, and then it came out on HBO Max, and I still haven't seen it. So I hear I mean, Rotten Tomatoes score, the audience score is high, and the critic score is low. So that would lean me towards going to see it, but seems a shame. The first movie was good. I don't know. I would like to see a Shazam Black Adam fight, the matchup. You know, I think it would be good. I think they could make that work. But I doubt you're going to see it now. Maybe you'll see it in part of another DC movie down the road when Dwayne Johnson finally is, I don't know, money hungry enough to come back and do it. You know? Scream 6. So in the second week, down 60% at 17 million. This opened strong, but it's just a high-end slasher movie. That's all it is. It's not doing well internationally, and I mean, it's kind of like a non-movie, you know? Horror mystery. It's not really much of a mystery. You're just jerking people around, essentially, in a movie like this. I mean, a mystery would be, you know, really detailed characters, and there'd be a real justification for these horrible murders, something. But the whole franchise is built on I think, a pile of sand. You know, it was meant to be a meta. The first Scream was meant to be a meta version of the slasher movie, and it worked fine enough, but to make an entire franchise out of it, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Maybe if you had gone, I don't know, further meta with it, and had the actual actors and actresses being stalked by the killer in real life, kind of thing, I don't think they would want to do that, but I think that would be one way to kick up the meta portion of it. But so 116 million worldwide, is that money? I guess. I mean, on the one hand, a movie like Scream 6 has a lot of big faces. I mean, Jenna Ortega's in it. She's not going to come cheap. She's the it girl. You had Courtney Cox, a few other notables. So they're not going to come cheap, but at the same time, you know, what do you, your biggest expense is shooting in New York, I guess. That's not that big of an expense. So maybe that's less than $100 million, but it's worldwide and it's a lot of advertising. Shazam is definitely not at money, but it's only the first week. Maybe it'll hold strong, won't drop by 50-60%, but that's a big drop for Scream, 60%. Creed 3 dropped 40%. It's getting out of theaters. Did pretty good, I think. I mean, 224 worldwide. It's not bad. It should be money. It looks good. It looks like a good movie. I think they should have put Stallone in it, at least giving him a cameo, giving him a chance to do a death scene. But I think he's having some problems with the producers, a fight with them. Number 4, 65. This is the second week for that. I don't know. It looks like a B movie, really. Adam Driver running around with a ray gun killing dinosaurs. 38 million? Yeah, sounds about right. That movie had to cost them a little money, though. Had to. All the dinosaurs running around, that had to cost money. I don't know. I don't see a tremendous amount of advertising for it, but Ant-Man and the Wasp still hanging in there at 5. Down 42%. We're down to 4 million. It's basically over. Bleach Demon is here. Howdy, Bleach Demon. So worldwide, 462, but they're saying this lost money. How much did this thing cost to shoot? I would have guessed $500 million tops, right? So maybe it did lose some money, but even that I think is high for what was in this movie. Granted, you got Paul Rudd, Michelle Pfeiffer, what's her face? Can't think of her name. The woman who plays the Wasp. You got Michael Douglas. They all cost money. Tons of effects. I would have ballparked this about $200 million for a budget, and then another $200 million on the advertising. I mean, I don't think they really went all out with the CGI, but maybe they did. I don't know. There were problems. The CGI didn't look great, but charting the progress, it's not. Doesn't seem to be doing well. But they're saying it's going to be a flop. I guess. I don't trust Hollywood when they talk about their numbers, so my guess would be probably broke even. Wouldn't call it a flop, but it probably barely broke even or lost very little money. Number 6 is Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear down only 38%, but down to 3.8 million. This movie, I don't know, man. 74 million. The biggest name was Ray Liotta. He was the only one in it with a real name. I guess Kerry Russell, kind of. Kerry Russell's the lead. You know, he's only like an also ran. So, I don't know. There was some great moments in it, but comedy thriller. What a weird genre. Comedy thriller. I would just call it a comedy. A dark comedy. It should have been darker. This is a one movie. It should have gone way dark. It should have been like, Bear should have murdered like 50 people at the end of this scene. End of the movie. 74 million. Is that money? I don't know. That third act looks cheap as F. The rest of it, kind of standard. It was shot in the woods. It's cheap to shoot in the woods. Maybe, kind of doubt it though. I don't know. Be close. Sounds like about break even. Jesus Revolution. This movie cost some money. Clint Miller's here. Hey Tony, just bought the Pineys volume QQ 11. I was processing in my head. QQ, is that Roman numerals that I don't know? Thanks, Clint. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hope you like it. Book 11 is the Piney that killed Thomas Edison. So Jesus Revolution, 3.5 million. It's only domestic, 45 million. 45 million. They're saying this is the highest grossing Lionsgate movie in a few years. 40 million, 45 million doesn't sound like a lot of money when you're talking a major Hollywood picture. But since Lionsgate has been taking it on the chin for a long time, You know, they may have really cut back on the budget in an attempt to make some damn money on a movie. You got Kelsey Grammer, but after him, I don't think there were. I can't think of any other big names, and so maybe if you only kept it domestic, kept it under 20 mil, sure, I could see that. So good, I guess. I don't know. The right wing is championing this movie like nobody's business just because it has Jesus in the title, I think. I mean, that's fine. I guess it's a wholesome movie, but so is the next movie, Champions, starring Woody Harrelson and Caitlin Olsen. Not doing well though. 12 million worldwide. That can't be money. This movie has to cost more than 12 million to make. That's not good. Wow, internationally not doing well at all. Comedies don't translate well overseas. So, and that's a shame. You would think Woody Harrelson would bring in more people. Caitlin Olsen, I love, but I don't know. She should play a sleazy character. She's always great as a sleazebag. It's good she's in a comedy. She's got great comic timing. I don't know. Champions may have been the wrong movie for her. You know, it's about a group of special kids who get coached by Woody Harrelson. It's the Bad News Bears with special kids. And I say special because YouTube makes me say things. Help me! Number 9 is Avatar, still hanging in there. 1.9 million. Wow. The 14th week. Still pulling in over $1 million. That's pretty good. Once again, worldwide, 2.3 billion. That's pretty good. Now, Chinese gross, last time I checked on the numbers, I guess I can't check here, was about 250 million, maybe close to 300. So I think this movie would have just made 2 billion even without China. So, yeah, I called that one wrong. I never thought it was possible. But you know what? I didn't think it would get Chinese distribution. But so 20th Century Studios, raking it in. Of course, I think they're going to try to convince the IRS it cost $2 billion to make, even though, like, first Cameron announced that and then backed off of it. I don't know. Could it have cost $2 billion? I guess. If that terrible Lord of the Rings TV show Amazon made cost $1 billion, I guess this could cost $2 billion. I don't see how it's possible, though, really, unless they're just really wasting money left and right. And part of it is this 1.9 million is that they're just keeping it in extra release overseas, especially in China. Number 10, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I hear is good, 1.5 million. This movie's definitely money. 470 worldwide. Yeah, I think it's money. You know, it's animation, but which is normally pricey, but it's easy on the actors. What you do save some on the fact the actors just come in and the actors are cheaper. It's just as simple as that. Antonio Banderas, it costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, how many weeks of work do you think this is for him? Maybe two? Just coming in to do the voice, recording over 2 weeks, done. Easily, I think. Maybe he comes in 1 week, does the whole thing, and then comes back a week later to fix any mistakes or fill in any gaps or whatever. So, I think that's money. Everything Everywhere All at Once. No Oscar boost, they say. 75 million domestic, 37 international. I would expect it to have done a little better internationally. But, it just goes to show you, like, it doesn't matter, Hollywood, that you're so diverse. The international audiences aren't stupid. right? They don't want they don't want a movie made by Americans for, say, the southeastern market or Japan or China. They want their own movies. One of the things they rejected was the Legend of the Five Rings, right? They wouldn't let it be distributed in China. It's kind of like pandering to them. What they want are American movies in other countries. They want big, huge American movies. That's what they want. So, not knocking this movie. It looks cool. I still want to see it. Even though I think it's a little overhyped, but I think it'll be good, even though it's multiverse stuff, and I think they're rapidly burning me out on that, but I would totally see that. So that's number 11. Debuting at number 12, Moving On. Ooh, that's not a good debut. That is Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda. Two old friends reconnect at a funeral and decide to get revenge on the widower who messed with them decades before. Well, that doesn't sound like a bad pitch. It's a comedy. Okay. Yeah, I'd go see that. Not sure why they asked Lily Tomlin about LGBTQIA2S+ in the interview about that movie. It doesn't seem to be about that at all. But there you go, Hollywood. Number 13, Inside, also debut. Oh, this is what's his name? William Dafoe, trapped in a high-rise apartment. He gets locked in to the apartment like that's the trap. He's robbing the place, and then he gets trapped inside and then can't get out. And I guess the owner of the apartment wants him to starve to death as he slowly eats priceless pieces of artwork to survive. So weird. But not even $500,000. that's a lot of times what they're doing is they're releasing a movie. They're doing these soft releases where they release it and then next week it gets wider distribution. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're testing it. But this feels more like an art house movie. Probably won't go in too many more theaters, I'm guessing, but who knows? There's nothing out there. The Quiet Girl. Operation Fortune. Man, this movie. Oof. It's not doing well. Well, it's doing okay internationally, I guess. But man, domestically, no one knows about this movie. And this is Guy Ritchie directing. I love Guy Ritchie. I want to see this movie. And part of it's on me. Another Christmas Story. Robbery in a high-rise? No. It's another Christmas Story. Are you talking about Christmas Story Christmas? That franchise? Or you're talking about William Dafoe? Maybe you misheard me. It's William Dafoe is robbing the high-rise and he gets trapped in there and he can't get out. Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre. I think part of it has to do with this title. It's a terrible title. Yeah. It's a shame. Hugh Grant's in it, Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza. I wanted this movie to do well. I think it's probably pretty watchable. I don't know. I haven't seen movies in so long. The Whale. Not doing well financially. $42 million. Well, I guess it's doing better than Operation Fortune, I guess. I don't know. I kind of don't want to see this movie. Another Christmas Story. Robbery in a High-Rise, says Clint Miller. Bruce Willis, Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It does take place in a high-rise. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying is William Dafoe's movie a Christmas Story? No, it does not take place during Christmas. Yeah, The Whale sounds kind of woke. And now that I know that, I kind of not anxious to see it. I kind of wanted to support it for Brendan Gleeson or Brenda Fraser, but I don't want to see a preachy movie. I'm just so sick of preachy movies. You know? Return to Soul. I don't know what that movie is. Miller. Oh. Well, you could pretend it takes place during Christmas. 80 for Brady. I don't know how this movie's still hanging around. 39 million domestically. Living. Another art house movie. Violent Night, still in theaters. Still in 29 theaters. Now they're making a sequel to this. The Innocent debuted. That is debuting very low. Oh, oof. Domestic, $11,500 in one theater. Worldwide, obviously more theaters, 5.1 million. Crime and romance. Not sure. Emily. Dry Long So just debuted. Follows a woman in photography class who begins taking pictures of black men out of fear they will soon be extinct? What? What the hell kind of movie is this? Domestic, $5,111. One theater. One theater, a lot of confused patrons, I'm guessing. And number 24, Rodeo. Julia, a young misfit who is passionate about riding, meets a crew of dirt riders, that ride dirt bikes, who fly along at full speed and perform stunts. She sets about infiltrating their male-dominated world, but an accident jeopardizes her ability to fit in. It's weird. It's a weird pitch, isn't it? So, is it about feminism? Because I just, you exhaust me with this feminism. I mean, as soon as you say something like infiltrating their male-dominated world, I'm just like, no, please. No, thank you. How about Julia, a young misfit, wants to join the boys in their dirt biking? Ryan Citro, Filipino movies. Is that a Filipino movie? Music Box Films. I don't know. Maybe. Might be. Harry. Whoa, what? That sounded bad. I mean, a girl who wants to be a dirt bike rider sounds cool, but if it's going to be a whole thing about the patriarchy, you could just keep it. Right? Like, who needs that? Who needs that? We don't need that. All right. So that's the box office for this week. Not great. Not a great. I don't know. It's kind of spread out, I guess. You know, it's spread out. I mean, there's more movies. I mean, you got the top 11 movies at least did $1 million. That hasn't happened in a while. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 premieres. So maybe the market's coming back. I don't know. There was a big article I talked about yesterday or the day before about movie theaters and whether or not they'll survive. And it's like, who the hell's going to movies? You know? It's a bad experience. That's what it boils down to. It's just a terrible experience going to the movies. I have a much better experience sitting right here in front of my computer watching a movie on the screen. I can get popcorn, I can go to the bathroom, I can stop and start the film, I can rewind, see different scenes. I don't have to deal with audience. It doesn't cost me as much. Tell me what the downside is. What are you giving me at the theater that's better? Okay, it's a bigger screen. Granted, but the expense is bigger. I've got idiots sitting all around me. The food is ridiculous. Clint, I liked your Abigail rent. When does it release? Abigail, that's a good question. Let's look that up. I believe April. See if I can find it. Oh, it's not even on here. All right, let's go to YouTube. All right, Abigail. Here it is. Hold on, I can't play the sound because YouTube always flags me. JEC. It's also a time thing at this point. All these movies are 3 hours long, and it's time, and the time to go from there. Yeah. It's like a 4-hour process now. All right, let's see when Abigail's coming out. I believe it said April. Here it is, Abigail. No date on that. Let's see if it says in the. No. I guess I didn't get. Doesn't say in the trailer when it's coming out. It looks cool though. For those of you who didn't see my rant on this, the great thing about Abigail is it plays on the trope of the movie about a young girl falling in love, a young white girl falling in love with a black kid in the racist South. Now, it takes place in 1976. It's not hardcore racist South, but just sort of at the tail end of the racism. And so you set it up as like, oh, it's going to be about this girl falling in love with this black kid, and he gets bullied at school, and you think, oh, well, it's all going to be about race, right? No, it's not, because what happens is it turns out Abigail's out of her mind. And at first she protects the black kid, and I guess they become boyfriend and girlfriend, but then she keeps going and going too far. And then she starts murdering people, and it all goes to hell. Looks cool. Bleach Demon is here. If theaters were more of an experience like it was 80 years ago, then maybe I could be bothered to go back. But I feel like I am boarding a plane without the TSA. No thanks. Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you. The movies are too long, so it's a 4-hour commitment now. There's nothing there for me. I got popcorn here that I bought from the store. It's cheaper. So, you could lower the price. That would be a big help, right? You lower the price to something that's worth it. To me, a movie that would be worth it would be about $10, right? Tops. I'm trying to shut this thing off. So about $10, $5 would be better, but $10, I'll go probably see your movie. I got the senior discount last time I went, so what the hell did I go see? Oh, I went to go see Cocaine Bear, so it only cost me $10. So $10, that would help. Throw in a free popcorn and a drink, I'm there. Drop it to $5, I'm there. Now it's like, even the movies I kind of want to see, I just don't want to pay for. It's just too much money. And let me tell you something. The movies, now it's a solid half hour of previews and commercials. A solid. Like before, maybe you'd get to a half hour in the summer because there were a ton of movies coming out and you'd see a ton of trailers. Now it's a solid half hour before your actual movie starts playing. Bleach Demon. Are there even matinees anymore? There are. Yeah, there are near me anyway. But a lot of people can't go. I can go to that because I'm a freelance writer. I can do whatever the hell I want. But, so I could go to the movie theater in the middle of the day and see a noon release on a Tuesday, but not a lot of people can't. That's why they're supposed to be cheap. But they're not even that cheap. They're still about $10. That to me is way too much. Like the matinee should definitely be $5. Absolutely $5. Like it should be like, oh man, if I ever get a day off from work, I'm going to the movies because they're so much cheaper. Like that's the way that should be. They're showing a damn movie anyway. No one's in a theater. No one's in these theaters. How you even keeping the lights on? You're not getting enough people. Simple as that. Hollywood needs to spend 2 years building back the audience. They need to slash the prices and just subsidize the damn thing until you get people back in the theaters. Just artificially game your numbers. Slash prices. These tool bags did the opposite. When the Batman came out, they added another $1. They added another $1 to the ticket price. I said, F you, and walked home. Didn't walk home. I got in my car. I walked to my car and went home. But, yeah, I'm not paying an extra $1 just because it's the one damn movie I wanted to see that week. I waited until it came out on HBO Max. So you lost out on my $14, $15. How many people did you have to get that money back? Well, probably like 2 or 3 customers. So all you had to do is not, I really wanted to see that movie in the theater. All you had to do is not charge me that extra $1, dumbasses. But they did it. I don't know why. Ryan, Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. I've heard of that movie. Is that the one where Kevin is the convict and he has to teach Will Ferrell how to go to prison? He's going to prison, I think. All right. Anyhow, yeah, theaters are doomed unless they do something. But by the time they do something, I mean, you could have a collapse on your hands. JC, The Batman was 3 hours. Exactly the type of movie I'm talking about. Ryan Citro, yes. Yeah, it was too long. The Batman had just too much stuff in it, really. I'll tell you what you could have cut out of Batman. Catwoman. Didn't need her. I think you could have cut her completely out of it. I would have liked to kept the Joker scene, though. The cut Joker scene. That was pretty short. If you had cut the Catwoman, you would have had tons of time. It didn't feel like a 3-hour movie in its defense. It moved pretty good, for the most part. Ben Affleck and the demands Michael Jordan made before he directed Air. Yeah, this is the new movie that's coming out. It's called Air. It's about a shoe. Ever see a movie about a shoe? Yeah, once. They're making a movie about a shoe. This is where Hollywood is. They're making a movie about a shoe. This is how they think now. Okay, we need a movie people want to see. How about a movie about a shoe? You mean like a 2-hour movie about a product? Will people sit through that? They have to. There's nothing else out. Okay. What kind of brain-dead simpleton is going to pay to see a 2-hour movie about a shoe? I just don't see it. Michael Jordan's not in the movie. I mean, an actor playing Michael Jordan, I assume, is in it. Bleach Demon. The only theater experience I have enjoyed in years is going to the drive-in. $13 for a vehicle, up to $5. Yeah, that's a good deal. I talked about that in the Piney podcast. We still have one drive-in theater here in New Jersey, in Vineland, New Jersey. It's a great experience. Clint Miller. More of a Frank Gorshin Riddler fan myself. I am a fan of the Frank Gorshin Riddler. His son had, I don't think he's still there, but he opened a store in Haddonfield, New Jersey, near me. And I was in that store. Clint Miller, people watch Seth Rogen movies. Do they? I don't know if they're going to him anymore. I mean, I think Seth Rogen had his day. He's sort of transitioned into producer. And, I don't think he's beloved as he was. I think Santa Inc. really hurt him. Really. I mean, he was skating on thin ice for a while, even before Santa Inc., with his various Twitter episodes that made him look horrific. And this was back when Twitter was on his side. I mean, his fight with Count Dankula, he lost so much cred. So much cred in the comedy community. for you to punch down at a guy like Count Dankula, and no shade on Count Dankula, I think he's hilarious, but he is a Scottish stand-up comic who went to prison for a joke. This guy, Seth Rogen, should be kissing his butt. Seth Rogen should be flying him out, putting him in a movie, and saying, you're a hero. That's what he should be doing to Count Dankula, not arguing with him on Twitter and losing. If you're going to argue with Count Dankula on Twitter, you better damn win the argument, Seth Rogen. You did not. You absolutely did not. And that, to me, that hurt him more than anything. Then he makes this ridiculous statement about his car being broken into and how it was cool, life in the big city, and the guy left a cool knife, and dumb move. Just being woke and stupid and all that. Probably could have been forgotten. But then, Santa Inc. Aurelius Moshe, welcome. Count Dankula is like a Twitter Green Beret, really. Yeah, you're not going to win against Count Dankula on Twitter. He's at the height of his power. Seth Rogen look, comedy is a young man's game. I know that. I've been in comedy for a lot of years. I have to be very careful because I'm older. So, yeah, you can get caught up in a lot of different things when you're older. Your past can trip you up. It could just be you have older sensibilities. You have to kind of like not pick a fight with the younger guys because they're like, it's like criminal gangs in the city, right? It's the youngest, meanest guys who win those fights. And in the world of comedy, it's always the young guys that tend to win. You have to be super smart. Now, some guys are smart, like Ricky Gervais. Oh, I wouldn't go up against Ricky Gervais. He's too smart. Oh, he'll get you. But Seth Rogen, not smart. And even dumber was Santa Inc. A very ill-conceived cartoon. And the funny thing is, he still thinks he's the bad boy of comedy by making a thing like Santa Inc. And really, all he did was crap all over everybody's childhood and laugh and say, ha, Christians. Dumb move. Maybe you could have forgiven Seth Rogen if, like, he was a stand-up comic who built his entire stand-up comedy on, like, doing a whole bit about being Catholic at Christmas or something like that. It would have been different if that movie was about, say, I don't know, Hanukkah and family, and it made all these outrageous statements on that, because then you'd be like, well, Seth Rogen's Jewish and he's making fun of Hanukkah, and that's in his wheelhouse, right? You wouldn't feel like he was going after anybody. He's making fun of himself, essentially. So, but when you have a guy who goes after Christmas in that way, in such a mean, nasty way, in my view, and then you compound the fact by everybody hates the damn thing and you keep defending it, like, once everybody hated the damn thing, if he just shut up, it probably would have just faded from memory. Instead, he defended it. That's the new thing in Hollywood. It's, we're going to double down. We're going to double down because we're going to get more attention, and then people are going to see this thing. And, it's clickbait. I mean, from the clickbait perspective, you've won, I guess. But from the perspective of everybody liking you, now I hate Seth Rogen. Like, I used to adore the guy. I used to see Seth Rogen on the marquee and go, ooh, I got to go see the Seth Rogen movie. Now I hear his name and I go, oh, Seth Rogen, God, no. And I love This Is the End. I mean, This Is the End, one of the funniest movies ever. And now, like, if he announced that he was doing a sequel to that movie, I'd be like, I don't know, man. What's he going to call me in that movie? You know, he really needs to pull his head out of his A and just, give up all this anger. But again, I think he's in the Hollywood bubble. He's at a very high level. I don't think he's getting really good information. Because keep in mind, all these people, they're so rich. They're so rich that they have a staff, right? So imagine you wake up every day. You're in your place, your massive house. You You get dressed, you come down, you have a staff. Like you have a staff in your house. You're so rich, right? Because your house is so large. You have a chef and a driver and a personal assistant. And you wake up and you don't have to worry about bills. You're not worried about any of that. You're just trying to get more projects going on, more millions of dollars. And you're talking, and so how do you communicate with the world? You do it through your assistants. Like, what's going on today? I don't know what his assistant's name is. Frank? Frank, what's happening today? I had an imaginary assistant I called Helmut. He was a German national who lived in my basement and had to eat comic books because I didn't pay him well. So Helmut, what's happening today, Helmut? And I would rely on Helmut to tell me, what he saw on the news, what he saw in the world, what his pulse, what the pulse of the nation is through him. Like, I wouldn't even do it myself because I'm too busy, getting laid and eating caviar and doing everything I've ever wanted to do because I'm so freaking wealthy. I can just do anything I want. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like. I'd be out of my mind. I'd be dead. If I had hit it big, I'm pretty sure if I had hit it big in the 80s, I'd be very dead. Probably like Chris Farley, John Belushi dead. Not on drugs. I probably would have just eaten myself to death. But, so I'm... JC, Helmut Dork? Like from the day the clown cried? I didn't have a last name for him. I just called him Helmut. Like, and that was German. And then I would sometimes answer my emails as Helmut. Mr. DiGerolamo is very sad today and can't answer his emails. Just as a joke. So, like, I don't think, he has the capacity to know what the hell's going on. So, he's completely out of touch. But everyone around him doesn't care and continues to keep him in that bubble. And the more he's in that bubble, the more you're worried about your job and the more you want to keep him in that bubble. So what do you say to your boss when he asks you, what do you think of this jacket? You say, it's great, boss. That's a great jacket. It's the best jacket I've ever seen. Even if it's the ugliest, worst jacket you have ever seen. Even if it's covered in flies and poop, you go, that's a great jacket. Wish I could get one. JC, that was the man of Jerry Lewis's character in The Day the Clown Cried. Helmut Dork. I remember the day the clown died. I didn't remember the character's name, though. Legend has it, I think it was Harry Shearer said he saw a copy of the film. Like somebody stole it, and they watched it and then returned it before Jerry knew it was gone or something, as goes the urban legend. I don't know. Did they ever release that damn movie? I don't think they did. I think there's a time frame where they're going to release it so many years after he dies or something. Aurelius? Well, is the jacket Jewish, boss? I'm not getting your joke. So, yeah, like Seth Rogen, he's the boss. So if he asked you, like, well, what do you think of Santa Inc.? Do you think it's a good idea? I think it's a great idea. I mean, that's what I would say to Seth Rogen if I worked for him. Now, if I was hired writer, I might try to diplomatically tell him, nah, maybe we ought to go in a different direction. But JC Lewis donated to a museum. They allowed it to start doing screenings in the next year or two. Oh boy. I can't wait for that. I hear that's legendarily either cringe or amazing or both. I don't know. So yeah, I think, Rogan is just so out of touch. Plus he gets high all the time, is my understanding. And Aurelius, Seth Rogen, would infamously ask people who argued with him on Twitter if they were Jewish. Oh, now I get it. Now I get what you're saying. Yeah, he asked that to Dankula. Another weird thing, like, why would he ask that? That's weird. Aurelius, over private messages out of the blue. Yeah, No, I heard that because I think Dankula said that when he was talking about their whole weird exchange. I don't know why he would do that. Um, and you know, it's like Seth Rogen at one point had a niche. It was comedy, and then he was trying to make this leap to more, I don't know, mainstream actory movies, and then he did Observe and Report, which I thought he was really good at. And then he did The Green Hornet, which just wasn't a good idea. Just wasn't a good idea for a lot of reasons. He's just not right for The Green Hornet. It just didn't work for a lot of reasons, and you can't really do the Green. And I think he tried to make it a little bit woke, and I don't think he can do it woke. But yeah, the Green Hornet didn't really work. It was kind of a flop. He's just not, like, maybe if he eased his way into action movies, he could have made it work. Like if he'd done something in between, like, I don't know, like a buddy cop movie. Like a buddy cop movie I could see him being in, right? He was a cop in Superbad. I could see him being a, detective type character with a smart mouth, and he's got another comedian character, and they got to solve a mystery, and they're quipping while they're shooting guys. Like that would be fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing now. And the Pineapple Express I thought was fun. Now it's just like I hear him, and I'm just like, no, not going to support him. He's kind of a D-bag. I don't want to support D-bags in Hollywood. Like, I didn't need to see that. Like, he could have hit it by just being a nice guy in public. By not picking all these fights. And this is, again, the destruction of celebrity. It's over. Like, there are no more celebrities. They keep going on podcasts. They keep talking and talking, and they talk themselves right out of a sale. Right? Like, I don't need to know his political positions. I just never did. Because how I knew Seth Rogen was, what was it? Freaks and Geeks and comedy movies. I didn't know him as a political entity. It's not like Bill Maher or Dennis Miller or maybe a more political comic, Jon Stewart. Like, those guys, okay, I could see, all right, they got a political take on something. They have a little bit of cred, at least, that they've been in the political realm for a while, and, okay, sure, they get a kind of a pass. Not really, but kind of. They're also not movie guys. Seth Rogen has no business talking about politics, in my view. Aurelius. Seth Rogen is a deep exemplar of American urban culture. It used to enjoy a golden age of worldwide cultural leadership last few decades. Now it's drifted into this insular thing that doesn't connect. Excellently put. Yes. Well put, Aurelius. Is this really Aurelius? You did rule Rome. You're good. No, but you word that very well. Yes, that's exactly what he is. He's a very urban guy. He's just stuck, and he's not going anywhere outside that urban bubble. And it is very urban. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because you don't see this from guys who live out in the country. He should get out of the city for a few years. He should, but he won't, I don't think. Yeah, it's and really, Trump derangement syndrome has damaged a lot of these guys. A lot of them. Josh Gad just weighed in on the Black Little Mermaid, and I don't know why he bothered to wade into the conversation at all. I don't think he's in the movie. Is he? Maybe he does one of the voices. I don't know, but shouldn't wade into it. It looks terrible. It's probably going to tank. It's totally unnecessary. Even if they had made it with a girl who was a redhead and white, the movie's totally unnecessary. The cartoon's a classic. Why are you remaking it? It's not even that old. There's nothing to be gained by doing a live action version of The Little Mermaid. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's only things to lose. That's it. You can't win. You will only lose. I mean, Melissa McCarthy's in it. So what? Who cares? And then the one of the articles this week, I think Yellow Flash covered it. There's people on the left complaining about the Little Mermaid, the live-action Little Mermaid. They're not complaining about the main character. They're complaining that Ursula, the character that Melissa McCarthy plays, should have been played by a drag queen or a trans woman. Right? So you're like, just because that character's fat and ugly, let's say, you want to give it to a trans woman or a drag queen? What? And that's supposed to be what? That's supposed to be a gift from the gods, a gift from the woke gods. Oh, here's an ugly, evil character. Oh, why don't you play it, trans woman or drag queen? Yeah, it sounds like you really like them. What? It doesn't make any sense, but these people are insufferably woke. Any opportunity. And they just complain. It doesn't matter. You can have a movie. You could recast, let's say, I don't know, Citizen Kane. They're going to reshoot, let's say they're going to reshoot Citizen Kane with nothing but trans actors, right? Every actor will be the sex that's the opposite and vice versa, and there'll be nothing but gayness all over the screen, and I guarantee you the woke would still come out with a statement saying, well, trans Citizen Kane is an improvement, but there's not enough trans people of color or indigenous people. That's what they would say. They would find something to complain about because they cannot help themselves. Their entire ideology is geared towards complaint, complaint, complaint. And when you are mentally put that way, you could always find something to complain about. And they will complain about anything. You've heard their complaints. They're ridiculous. No one cares. Oh, boy. That went off the rails for a while. Okay, let's see what else is going on in the headlines. Ted Lasso cast sets White House visit to discuss the importance of mental health and well-being with President Joe Biden. Are they going to sit him down and tell him he should retire because he's demented? Because that's the only reason I could think of. Why is this happening? This is where we are in America. That the cast of a TV show is going to sit down at the White House to discuss the importance of mental health and well-being with the President of the United States, who's completely demented, out of his mind, barely coherent, but they're going to talk to him like he's an important man and that he's going to do something even though he's demented and probably will forget their visit the moment they leave, and probably nothing will happen. So this is the ridiculous posturing of our elites. Can you imagine being in this cast, right? You're an actor. You wanted all your life to be in something that's cool and interesting that people watch, and you finally hit it big. You're in Ted Lasso. And a lot of people watch that show. I don't watch it. And I don't know what character you are. Let's just pick one. And you're like, oh, I'm finally in a show. I'm making money. This is great. And then they come to you and they say, we're going to go to the White House. Like, your first reaction would be, is the president a big fan of Ted Lasso? Now, of course, they're probably going to say, oh, yeah. But we're going to discuss the importance of mental health and well-being with the president. I would be like, why? Why are we doing that? Shouldn't other people be doing that? Why are we wasting the president's time? What? Aren't we at war with Ukraine? Isn't the world like coming apart at the seams economically? Why are we spending an hour with the president of the United States, arguably the most powerful man in the world, although the most powerful steward in the world, I guess you would say, because I'm on a TV show? It makes no sense. And then you go, Well, you know what? That's not really what I want to do. So I don't think I really want to go. And then they go, no, 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 you have to go. You're one of the main characters. If you don't go, it'll look weird, right? Like the everybody in the cast has to go at a certain level, right? Like Jason Sudeikis has to be there. He has to be there. When they say the cast, he's like the main. He's the lead. He's gonna have to be there. I'm sure he'll be there. And then whoever, I don't know who the rest of the cast is. He's the only one I know. But imagine you're like number 2 or 3 on the list. You're gonna have to go. There's no way you can't go. Like, and then you start probably rationalizing it on your brain. Well, I get to see the White House. How many people do that? Like anybody can. You can go on the tour. But okay, I get to visit the White House. I get a private tour. I mean, I could take my family. But it's like Joe Biden. Ugh. Ugh. I always have that fantasy where I like save the president's life, and like I can't imagine like what it would be like to say, I don't know, save President Biden's life, right? Like, I don't know, some guy's at like a window and I beat him up and knocked the gun out of his hand and I'm considered a hero, but now I have to go to the White House and meet Joe Biden. Ugh. It sounds awful, right? It sounds awful, uncomfortable. Like, oh, thank you for saving my life. Yeah, I did that. Listen, are you sure this is the right job for you? Like, how would I say you should retire nicely? Be like, no way I could do it. I either have to be a total D-bag, just be like, listen, I saved your life because that's the right thing to do, but you really don't belong here. You're messed up, dude. You gotta retire. Retire right now. I guess. I don't know. I think I'd get blasted. Aurelius. Better not use nice shampoo. You know who'll want to sniff that. You imagine, like, yeah, I'm there at the table with him, we're talking, it's not going well, and at some point I don't know, I drop my napkin or something, I bend down to get it, and I out of the corner of my eye, I see him, like, leaning over, like, hey! I'll just do this. Alicia Silverstone would love to take on a Blast from the Past sequel. I'd do anything with Brendan Fraser. Well, I guess you would. He's king of Hollywood right now. So I remember that title, Blast from the Past. I don't remember what it was about. Is it time travel involved in that movie? Let's take a look. Blast from the Past, 1999. What's the premise of this thing? Christopher Walken's in it. Oh, there's no write-up of it? Come on. Here we go. Wikipedia. Oh, bomb shelter. Bomb shelter. Okay. They were trapped in the bomb shelter? Or one of them was? Film focuses on a naive 35-year man, Adam Weber, who spent his entire life living in a Cold War era bomb shelter built by a survivalist anti-communist father who believed that the United States suffered in... okay. And then he gets out, and then he falls in love with Alicia Silverstone. Right. Now I remember. Okay. Sissy Spacek. She was in it too? Oh, yeah. Christopher Walken and Sissy Spacek are the parents, I think. Dave Foley's in it too. Oh, he's funny. He got rocked by his divorce, I hear. I read an article somewhere that said, JC, I remember that movie. It was pretty good. It's even got the budget here. 35 million budget, 40 million point 3 box office. That might be money. I mean, it's the 90s. But man, Dave Foley, I hear, got absolutely creamed during his divorce. Like he's got to work forever kind of divorce. That's a shame. That's a shame. It's not right either. Because he was making, I assume, great money on news radio, because he was on that. But I think in a lot of states, and this, they say, was Robin Williams crossed the bear. JC, 90s, you had rentals, VHS money coming in. That's true. DVDs, eventually. So they say, like, if you're making top dollar when you get divorced, that's the metric that the judge may use to decide how much money you're going to pay your wife forever if you've been married long enough. And they say, again, I read an article, I don't remember where, that Robin Williams had divorced one of his wives at the top of his career and owed her like an obscene amount of money all the time. And he was, before he died or killed himself, he killed himself, right? Yeah. He may have. I don't remember the story. But he was planning to go back on the road in his 70s, and that he really didn't want to do it. But he had no choice. Like, he owes so much money because he divorced these women at the peak of his career. You know, and you think the millions are just going to keep rolling in. You know? It's a shame. But apparently that happened to Foley, too. So, God, imagine that. Imagine you're just making millions and millions of dollars and you're still paying your ex-wife. That would drive me out of my mind. Out of my mind. It's wrong. It's wrong. Look, you get married for 20 years. I get it. Maybe you get some kind of payday, but for the rest of your life, nah. How about just a chunk of money and then, you know, you manage that or whatever. Not like everything. It's just wrong. Clint Miller, Hollywood wives should try to time those divorces. They do. I promise you that they do. Because everybody's working every conceivable angle. Believe it. Believe it. Oh, there's a review of Air already. Ben Affleck's film plays an exemplar of the American dream, a story about how Nike wished upon a star and how that star and his mother were smart enough to know their value. Huh? Oh, they wished upon a star, Michael Jordan, and they were smart enough to know their value. Yeah, and smart enough to use Chinese labor, I hear, slave labor. So I'm sure the movie will go way into that, right? Let's see. All right, we're just about done that. All right, going into Hollywood Reporter. More on Air. Oh, this was a big story this week. Sam Neill reveals he's 8 months in remission after cancer diagnosis. He's got blood cancer. That is rough, man. Blood cancer. Stage 3. But now now there's a better headline. He's 8 months in remission, so that's good. Agent Elvis review, supremely silly Netflix animated comedy. I kind of want to see this because McConaughey's doing the voice of Elvis. Clint Miller, I heard Vietnamese labor. Possibly. Possibly. Kelly McCleary leaving Grey's Anatomy. Is Grey's Anatomy still on TV? How long's that show been on? Isn't it time to like set that into the pasture? Tyra Banks to deport Dancing with the Stars, a show I am proud to say I've never seen. Oh, and this was another story this week. Tom Cruise has seen The Flash, and he loved it. So this is how much Tom Cruise has saved Hollywood. They're now going to him for his approval, right? This is a smart move, I think, by Warner Brothers, because it sort of gives them some of the positive sheen that Cruise has in movies. I don't think it cancels out Ezra Miller, though. I really don't. I just don't want to see this movie because Ezra Miller. I'm not seeing it. I'll wait for HBO Max. I don't care how good it is. I am not going to pay to see this movie. No way. No effing way. I don't care if it's the greatest movie ever made. I'll wait. I'll wait until it's free somewhere and then catch up. I just don't see any reason to give this kid my money. No. Unless I hear he's completely, at the end of the movie, he's not the Flash anymore and his character's completely gone and another actor takes his place, then I might go see it. Like, he's gone he's not going to be the Flash ever again, and that's the whole point of the movie, then I would go see it. But I doubt it. Checking over at Deadline, otherwise known as Variety 2. Trump to be arrested on Tuesday. Now there's a new headline that says he's not going to be arrested on Tuesday. We'll see. Jen Psaki debuts her new MSNBC program with heavy emphasis on Donald Trump, less so on Biden. It's a hell of a week to launch a new show. Ryan Citro, Jason Voorhees. Yes, I know who that is. Aurelius, as a Hispanic, paying to see Ezra Miller movie feels like financing a drug lord. It feels just like wrong, It doesn't feel like he should get that money somehow. Feels like he's not sorry for what he did. Like, he didn't get caught and then come out and go, oh, I'm really out of sorts. I'm so sorry. Like, he got caught like a bunch of times, got arrested, went out and did something else again, like 3 or 4 times before finally, I think the Warner Brothers fixer got a hold of him and said, listen, if you don't do something right now, you are done. We're going to shut down this movie and we're going to sue you. And then I think he did. Clint Miller, Trump, quote, I don't know if I could read that, but he's basically postulating that terrible things were happened to Trump. Yeah, I'm worried about that too, actually. I'm very worried about that. I'm worried that's the entire point of arresting him. Are they going to put him in the most secure prison ever in New York, the one that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself in? Clint, Ezra brings shame to Millers everywhere, says Clint Miller. Yeah, I know. I didn't even connect that to you. Fortunately, there are many, many Millers. There was bound to have 1 or 2 bad eggs. But this Jen Psaki, I think the whole reason she was White House press secretary was she wanted her own TV show. I think that's the only reason she got into politics. I think half these people in the government really want their own TV show. I guarantee you, that woman who was going to be part of the disinformation board, whatever the hell that was that got shot down, I guarantee you, she wanted her own TV show. She wanted a whole damn career in show business. Absolutely, 100%. So these people can't get in the show business and they go into politics. God, no. Those two worlds shouldn't be so close together. I know people in show business, actors and singers and stuff. They're nuts. They should be nowhere near the levers of power. They should be over in the creative areas, away from power. They're Ryan Citro, Billy Joel. Are you just mentioning famous people at this point? Or are you saying Billy Joel should be away from the levers of power? Maybe. He's not very political, so I don't know his stance. Aurelius. They're demanding Trump give up his governorship of Gaul, disband his legions, and come back to Rome to be prosecuted. Yeah, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? Someone's going to cross the Rubicon, and then we're going to have 40 years of Trump. Or Trump's son, right? Who would Augustus be? Who would Augustus be? Carrie Lake, maybe. Trump adopts Carrie Lake as his daughter and makes her president. Clint, or they become girl like Dylan Mulvaney. Oh. Girl. Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney, yeah, is another one. Like, clearly, Dylan wants to be famous. So, and like, look, people say this stuff all the time. There are people who will do literally anything to become famous. I mean, you just only have to look at YouTube or any of these channels. Octavian Baron Trump? I think he's too young. But I don't know. Augustus was pretty young, but he was a genius. I don't know if Baron was a genius. Or is a genius. Yeah, I don't know. Carrie Lake's the only one that I could see could step in the Trump role like that. Maybe DeSantis, but Carrie Lake seems like the next Trump to me. But that would be funny. Well, at worst, we'd be in the golden age of the empire, so not too shabby to be in the golden age before it all collapses and go to hell. I think we'll all be dead by the time that happens, so maybe that would be a good thing. I don't know. Jen Psaki, though, what an absolute clown she was as the press secretary, but compared to the current one, oh man, she was top notch. The current one, Jesus, she's just bad. Oh, everybody left in the Biden. It's like everybody left the Biden administration who was even remotely good, and just, you know, it's like they attract the worst kind of people. Incompetent boobs. Just incompetent people. Kamala, my God, I just can't get over. You know, I've gone through this phase where I said, get rid of Biden, put Kamala in there. How much worse can she be? But then she opens her mouth and I go, oh, maybe that's not such a good idea. Like, but I kind of think if they did that, Kamala would just quit. She would just quit out of sheer, like, I don't know what to do here. She would finally hit her limit and just go, you know what? I might as well just quit. You know, she can make up whatever excuse she wants and then just quit. But I don't think the Democrats will allow her to be president unless they absolutely have to. And even then, I think they might push her out. Maybe. They might get, I don't know, get her to keep her in long enough to appoint another VP and then tell her to leave. Tell her to step down. Bleach Demon, is Psaki show called Inside Jen Psaki? The jokes writes itself. No, what it... Oh, Inside with Jen Psaki. It's called Inside with Jen Psaki. Right, it could be called Inside Jen Psaki. Today on Inside Jen Psaki, I talk about me, Jen Psaki. Now today, I had breakfast. Here's what I had. Just list all the ingredients. Jen, I noticed you didn't have eggs today. That's right. I wasn't feeling like eggs, so I had toast. Today I go to the doctor's. Let's see how my heart rate is. Let's see. Oh, there's the Jane Fonda Lily Tomlin movie. Oh, this was something. I wonder if they got the video here. Yeah, this is the woman who fainted live on air. So watch this. This woman faints live on air. This is the weather girl, not these two. They're gonna throw it to another woman. I can't play the sound or YouTube might flag me. Now watch. She's starting to go right now. Like, see, she's leaning on the desk. Eyes, boom. Down goes Fraser. She is out. She is out. Aurelius, who's going to circle back to that breakfast? But we're going to circle back to that breakfast. But the next time, I talked to my mother today. Here's what we talked about. Yeah, so I wonder what made her faint. Could it be a certain medical procedure that I can't talk about on YouTube? I think so. That's my guess. That's usually my guess. Drew Barrymore is okay with Hugh Grant barking dogs comments on her singing voice. Okay. Drew Barrymore has gotten a lot of press recently for kneeling in front of Dylan Mulvaney, which was weird and stupid, dumb and weird. Over at Bounding in the Comics. Pretty sus, says JC. I think so. I think very sus. Shazam Fury of the Gods director David Sandberg urges fans not to be online or watch TV ahead of the film's release. Official TV spot spoils superhero cameo anyway. Do you guys know what that is? I assume you do. I won't spoil it for you in case you're going to see it. Super Mario Brothers movie directors tease girl boss personality for Princess Peach. Oh boy. We were thinking of how strong that person would be to need to protect her people. Yeah, just, we played Nintendo for 40 years and we were thinking how strong Princess Peach was sitting in that castle waiting for Mario to save her and not, killing the monsters herself and getting out because she's so strong. Yeah, that's what a strong person would do, right? Just sit in a castle, wait for Mario like a girl boss would. So girl boss. Yeah. No. We've been thinking about it a long time. It has nothing to do with our current paradigm and the studio pressuring everything to be woke. Nothing to do with that. No, we were just thinking. Yeah, we don't have a gun to our heads at all. I don't have a gun to my career's head. No. This headline popped up again. Marvel's Blade reboot delayed due to Mahershala Ali being unhappy with proposed script. This was the old headline. Has it happened again? This was only 2 days ago. I guess it's happened again. I still contend that Wesley Snipes could pull this off. He'd be in the suit. He looks good. I just saw him in his new trailer for Back to the Strip. He looks fine. You put him in that armored suit. I think he totally has the ability to pull it off. I think it should be Wesley Snipes. J.J. Abrams produced Batman Caped Crusader Saved by Amazon gets 2-season order. I'm really worried about this Batman cartoon because I think it's going to be super woke. Because I think that's the only reason Amazon would save it. And that Warner Brothers would let it go. Either way, if Amazon takes it over, is it going to be 2 seasons like, oh, this is pretty good, and then third season Batman, here's your new pink outfit. Batman, why are you with men? Yeah, so I'm a little worried about it, but I'll wait for the neurotic guys to look at it. I'm sure they'll go, oh, here's Josh Gad complaining about The Little Mermaid and decries critics as broken and pathetic. Says Fat Man. Bleach Demon, more JJ, that's a no-no. Right. Exactly. Yeah, not a big fan of that guy. I mean, look, he pulled off the first reboot of Star Trek in a way that I thought, okay, this isn't bad. It's watchable. It's kind of a ripoff of everything that went before, but that makes sense for what the... And then he did it again in the second movie, and it's just like, what are you going to do now? Remake all the movies with a different cast? It makes no sense. Oh, we're just going to take the old characters and move the action figures around and do them again. It sucks because he rebooted the franchise in a way that was different. I didn't agree. I don't think he should have blew up Vulcan. I thought that was stupid, but I thought the first movie was pretty watchable. Make something totally... He had carte blanche to do whatever he wanted for the second movie. He could have done anything. He could have hired the biggest sci-fi guys in the business. Say, look, we need a mind-blowing concept for the next Star Trek film. Write us something. They had the money to do that, and believe me, sci-fi guys, they don't have a lot of money. Pay those guys $200K. They'll write you. They'll write everything. Give these guys $500,000. It's more money than they've ever seen. No, what do we get? We get a remake of The Wrath of Khan? What are you an idiot? Didn't make sense. All right. Cosmic book news. SnyderCon. Zack Snyder to give James Gunn DC blessing. Rebel Moon universe announcement. Okay. I mean, what else is he going to say at this point? Here's some good news. Star Wars Damon Lindelof movie now in doubt. Good. Don't make this movie. If there's any movie I don't want to see, it's Damon Lindelof ... with anything, especially Star Wars. Suicide Squad director David Ayer is sad about DC. Okay. DC Comics cancels Gay Robin. I thought it was a fan favorite. I thought Gay Robin was everybody's... Oh my God, it was about time. Bleach Demon. I mean, they had Leonard Nimoy and turned Spock into Jake Skywalker. Yeah. Look, if they had come off of that first movie into something new, which he had the carte blanche to do that, right? You had all new cast, all new characters. You could have done anything in that second movie. You could have completely ignored all the previous movies and done a completely... You could have done... Here you go. You could have done the old Star Trek guys meet the Borg. Right? They didn't meet the Borg originally. You could have them meet the Borg in the new version of the movie. Right? And now, I'm sure those IPs are separate for various reasons, but you could have done that and blown everybody's mind and still would have been familiar territory or whatever, because Kirk didn't fight the Borg, and then you could have Kirk beat the Borg because he wins at everything. But yeah, they're too busy virtue signaling and everything else. But yeah, DC Comics cancels Gay Robin. And it's so dumb. It didn't have to happen. Talk about a character they really just said, let's pick a character out of a hat. Who's going to be gay this week? Robin. Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah, let's make Robin gay. It's like, Robin's not gay. Tim Drake Robin, not gay. Here's what you could have done. Aurelius. My Star Wars dream is saving up a bunch of Bitcoin, hiring a bunch of clandestine animators in Russia or somewhere remote, and make a long series about the expanded universe. Copyright be damned. Look, I get it, but you can't save Star Wars. It's over. It's really over. I mean, it is over. It's not worth saving. It's an IP, and this is the downside of corporate governance. Once the corporation owns it, it's just about money. And they're going to squeeze every dollar they can. Disney put the Star Wars characters on bananas. I was in the produce store. I'm shopping around, and I look down, and there's a bag of bananas with the Star Wars characters on them. Why you would think, we could sell more bananas if we put Star Wars characters on them, I don't know. But that's what they do. So if they would put the characters on bananas, do you think they won't hesitate to just do anything to make money? I mean, they're doing the Empire Strips Back. It is a burlesque show in New York with a Star Wars theme. That's currently running in New York. I assume it's legitimately licensed. It's Star Wars strippers. Now, I love strippers, and I used to love me some Star Wars, but I find this the single most offensive creative endeavor I think you could pitch to me, because it's just a money grab, in my view. Aurelius. I don't mean to save it. Just keep the old pre-Disney continuity in my heart. Disney Star Wars, Delenda Est. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's just, what I want to see, I just reviewed this trailer for a movie called Colonials. It's a space movie. I don't know if it's good. It's kind of hard to tell from the trailer, but it looks kind of good. Maybe it's the next Star Wars. Maybe it should be. I would like to see anything take its place now. I just want to see something new. I don't want any old stuff. I'm done. As much as I love comics and Star Wars and Star Trek and all that stuff, I don't want to see it anymore. Because each time they bring it back, they ruin it a little more. They don't understand it. They refuse to hire people who do understand it, or that will make it new. Like, I wouldn't even mind it if you went into a really bold new direction and you kept going there. That's what you have to do in creative endeavors. You have to go in a bold direction. Like, I don't know. Like, if you take the X-Men characters and you put them in their own universe, and then you send them to space, and they just become space characters after a while. Like, I wouldn't want that. That to me is not the X-Men, but I would respect the creative decision of going in a bold direction and sticking with it. But that's not what Hollywood does. They do what's popular. They do what makes money, and that leads them down weird paths because they try things, but they can never try anything too new with an old IP. They just can't, because there's too much at stake when there's an old IP. Star Wars cost Disney $1 billion. They're never going to try anything that new until the IP is so broken and useless that they don't care. Then they might, off in a corner, say, okay, go ahead, do the Star Wars cartoon. We don't care. And then somebody who's actually talented picks up the baton and does something amazing. And then, unfortunately, though, we're still in this mode of the moment something amazing comes out, like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian was ruined by its own success, right? Like, oh, Star Wars fans saw it, and like, oh, it's back, it's back. And already, it looks like it's going down the tubes. No step, no snick. Welcome. Am I wired for wanting to know if you could motorboat a Jar Jar stripper? Am I weird for wanting to know if you would motorboat a Jar Jar stripper? Well, no, I don't think I could. Because the Jar Jar head would be very distracting. That would be too weird. Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that. As much as I love strippers, I don't know. That would be too weird. Would she be doing the voice at the same time? Because that would make it even weirder. Yeah, no. Yeah, I just wouldn't pay for that. I wouldn't. Aurelius is laughing. It's the whole thing. It's just a money grab now, and it's sad. It's sad that they won't allow things to flourish to a certain extent. Bleach Demon, Misa say don't touch the merchandise. Aurelius, you have to pay more and more extra for that okie day. No step, no snick. The eyes will judge your soul. Yeah, that would be weird. That would be weird. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like for a while in comics they kept swapping the genders of some of the characters and made all the guys girls and made them super hot. I think it was the Image guys who did that. And it's like, no. It's not what anybody wants from... There's only so much you could do with superhero comics. There's only so much you could do with Star Wars. There's only so much you could do with anything. After a while, it's just tired. It's just played out. You just want to move on to something else. You know, it would be cool. But, would be crossovers, right? Would be crossovers, like the Star Wars X-Men crossover. I think they had something like the Star Trek X-Men crossover or something. Stuff like that. That would be cool in a movie or a TV show, but we're way past that. At this point, that would just be desperation. And you wouldn't even, there'd be so much legal entanglements and it would cost so much in terms of the licensing, and both studios would be fighting over which characters gets which scenes and who comes out looking better. You need to leave certain things up to the talent, right? You just need to. You just need to say, okay, guys, you guys do what you do best. We'll go market the damn thing when it's finished. Ryan, I gotta go. I have to go to sleep. I have school tomorrow, and today I have to take a shower. So good night. Good night, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap up soon anyway. Really appreciate you coming in. So, yeah, there's only so much you can do. Like, part of the problem with DC and Marvel is there's just the characters have been around too long, and there's only a certain way you can manage these characters. For like Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and the Hulk and all these characters, you have to make them timeless. You have to make them iconic and just kind of build new characters around them. That's the only way you can make them continue. No Step on Snake. Judge Dredd and Dirty Harry crossover. Just utter carnage. They did a Batman Judge Dredd crossover. It was pretty fun. Where Dredd arrests Batman. and he goes through all his weapons and tells him how illegal they are. It was pretty fun. Catch that one if you can. But yeah, I mean, Batman versus Predator. Want to see that? Predator, you can cross over with a lot of stuff, right? Predator versus X-Men would be fun. Aliens versus X-Men would be fun. Or Aliens versus the Marvel U, or Aliens versus the DCU. All that would be hilarious fun. But if you have idiots running your IPs that are too busy virtue signaling and throwing their ideology in, it goes nowhere. Over at Breitbart, Hollywood celebrities freak after Trump tells supporters protest his imminent arrest. F this guy. Oh, Rob Reiner said that? That's so surprising. John Nolte, Big Gauge, Shazam 2 tanks with dismal $30 million opening weekend. Yeah, it does sound like a tank. Disney's Little Mermaid trailer gets more than 1 million dislikes in 1 week. Left blames MAGA racist. Public library director fired after staff allegedly tried to shut down Kirk Cameron reading event. Just bizarre. I've been to a lot of libraries. Thankfully in South Jersey, they don't appear to be woke. A couple of times I've seen like posters that are kind of wokish, but they don't bother me as of yet. But I'm waiting. Bleach Demon. Reiner is still alive? Yeah, Meathead is still alive. It looks like he lost weight, too. He needed to lose weight. He was blowing up. He looked terrible. He looked absolutely terrible. But, yeah, he's still going on and on about Trump. Bill Maher, SVB collapse. Inflation are the result of government spending. It took forever, but my old boss, Bill Maher, has finally become a libertarian. Well, bravo, Bill. Welcome to the fold. Soon I'll have you reading Mises.org and all about Austrian economics, and we could laugh together at Paul Krugman's ridiculous columns. J.K. Rowling, there's something dangerous about the transgender movement. I'm just reading the headlines, YouTube. I'm just reading the headlines. I think I ranted about that before. All right. So that's about it. That's about it for me. Gonna have to wrap this up. We're almost at 2 hours anyway. Yeah, I gotta go check on little Joan. Hopefully she didn't poop up a storm in the front room. Final thoughts. My final thoughts are, what's coming out? What is coming out? Let's see. Can we see on the IMDB? Go to the menu here. Oh, release calendar. There we go. Children of the Corn 2020. I've been sitting on that movie forever. No Step, No Snake. Pet Her for Me. I will. Disappearance of Mrs. Wu. This is the 21st. All Those Voices. The Furies. The Portable Door. That's with Christoph Waltz. Johnny. Don't know what that is. And then March 24th. Get ready. It's John Wick. John Wick 4. Chapter 4. I think that's got to be the last chapter, right? I think I'm getting tired of John Wick. I think he needs to just do something else now. And now that what's the name died, Clint Miller, D&D. Oh yeah, where's that? March 31st. That's the week after. Yeah, here it is. Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know, man. I think maybe for D&D heads it might be watchable. For everybody else, it'll probably be like, what? Malum looked meh. Tetris looks fun. I saw the trailer for that. That looks kind of fun. Assassin, if you want to see another last Bruce Willis movie. Kill Buck Soon. I saw that. That looks cool. That's John Wick, only made by South Koreans. And so that should be fun. So that's going to be the week after. But next week, we're going to be dealing with the numbers for John Wick, which should blow the doors off of Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and everything else. I would predict. Next week, I will be at the Ocean City Con Saturday and Sunday, but I should be back in time on Sunday to do the live stream. I might push it back an hour, but I should be back in time. Ocean City, New Jersey, at the Music Pier. So it's a 2-day event. Usually does pretty darn good for me. If you haven't been to the boardwalk in South Jersey, have you really lived? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It's a great place to go. There's soft serve ice cream and boardwalk fries, as they call them. Don't feed the seagulls. We hate that. Pizza, rides, carnival games. When it's warmer, there's a beach. I mean, the beach is there. You're not going to want to swim in it now, but it's a good time. Good time by all. Ocean City is the clean version of Atlantic City. We have no booze. It's a dry town. And other than that, it's great. It's great. So hope to see you in Ocean City. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream. I'm going to wrap it here. Say goodnight to Joan, and we'll see you in the next one.